If you've ever wanted to change your eye color, I have some good news for you, but it's going to cost you some money. I'll tell you some more about it within the podcast episode. Enjoy. And here we are, Tuesday, November 19th, 2024. I hope all is well with you. It's Peach's Pit Party kicking off here. Just before catch your breath for my pick of the day today, I mentioned that they'll be making their way to Salt Lake with the funeral portrait, Archers, and If Not For Me at the complex in Salt Lake City, March 8th. You can find our concert calendar at riverbendmediagroup.com/calendar. There were a couple tours that got announced today making their way to the area. Poppy announced her tour, They're All Around Us tour, with special guests. So the openers have not been named as of yet. The complex, March 16th in Salt Lake City. You also have the very last show on our concert calendar now, May 29th, Napalm Death with the Melvins. If you want that heavier show, that's going to be happening at Metro Music Hall. I was just talking to a friend yesterday. We're both very excited for Paleface Swiss making their way to Salt Lake. Already making plans for next year's concerts. Definitely looking forward to Disturbed, 3 Days Grace, and Seven Dust. That's going to be a great show. Oh, yeah, TX2 also announced a headlining tour, and they're going to be making their way to the Neurolux in Boise on February 15th. And I did see an Instagram reel from TX2 of the lead vocalist, I forgot his name, saying, "Hey, we're going to be trying to meet every single one of our fans at every single show," which I thought was incredibly cool. I always love when bands do that, when they're catering to their fans, they're really caring about their fans. That's pretty cool. When bands ignore their fans, it's like, okay, get over yourself. Unless you're like Metallica level, then I understand completely. But I also understand the other end of things. You get some crazed listeners, crazed fans, crazed whoever it may be, crazed followers. When I was doing that interview with Matt B from Ashes to New, he was trying to find a way out of the depot to sneak out and didn't necessarily want to put himself right out front because I think he knew there was going to be some people. There's some diehard fans from Ashes to New. They definitely have that cult following, and they rightfully so. I mean, that band's been through a lot. Matt B, one of the coolest dudes out there. Anyway, go check out that concert calendar at riverbendmediagroup.com/calendar. And then on the top right there, it says choose an event type. You go to rock concert, and that will filter out all the other stuff. You will only get rock shows with that button there. Kill Switch Engage right there on K-Bear 101. I just talked about all the shows making their way to the area. Kill Switch being one of those bands coming to Salt Lake City with Kublai Khan, or should I say Kublai Khan? I think I heard them say that in a video, so now I'm going to start calling them Kublai Khan with Fit for a King, March 17th at the Revolution Concert House in Boise for that show. Anyway, here, I was looking at this list of the Video Game Award, the Game Awards 2024 nominations. They're out. The nominees for this year's Game of the Year Award includes a whole bunch of games I have not even played or ever heard of. Astrobot. No, I've heard of that game. I think it was on Xbox Game Pass. Astrobot. Let me Google search it real quick. Okay, no, so I haven't seen that game. I was thinking of a completely different game. This is on the PlayStation 5, and that's it. What's Balatro? Now, I've heard that title. I know I've heard that title. Balatro? It's a card game? Oh, okay. So my friend Andy Matter, he plays this on stream from time to time. I've seen him. That's how you know video games are down bad. If a card game is up for the Game of the Year award. There's also Black Myth Wukong, which I've heard about that game too. That game looks pretty sick. Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree. That might be Tree, or no, I think it's Erd Tree. I can't tell with this list. I don't know if somebody had a spelling error or what. There's also Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Metaphor, Fantasio. Like I said, a whole bunch of games I have not even heard of. All I've been playing recently is Black Ops 6. Every single time after this show, I go home, I hit up my friend Christian, I sort of annoy him, and I poke at him with a stick and go, "Hey, Christian, psst, can we play some more zombies together?" And then he'll groan, and he'll have to switch from his gaming PC to his Xbox Series X so he can play with me. At some point, I do want to get a gaming PC, but right now, I'm not even coming close. Peach's Pit Party on K-Bear 101, Idaho's only rock station. Saw some good news posted from eastidahonews.com. They shared the article on Facebook. If you haven't seen it yet, Allegiant announced that they're going to be doing some more flights, more routes to different places starting in May of next year. It's going to be Well, Allegiant is going to be heading from Idaho Falls to Denver now. You also have Gulf Shores, Alabama, Colorado Springs, Colorado, Columbia, South Carolina. Oh, wait, the flights will begin in February and expand the airline's network options in 51 cities around the country. The new route from Idaho Falls Regional to Denver begins May 22nd with introductory one-way fares as low as $50. Now, think about this. You're probably wondering, hey, why do I need to fly to Denver? There are a lot of tours that are making their way to the Denver area and skipping Salt Lake City, Boise, even right here in eastern Idaho. If we could fly for that cheap to Denver, spend a night down there and fly back, that would be a fun little vacation, right? Finally get to see some shows that we wouldn't be able to here. I know, isn't there a Metallica show coming to Denver? Isn't there Linkin Park coming to Denver as well? There we go. Thank you, Allegiant. If you want to learn more about this, go to eastidahonews.com. You can find the article right there on the homepage. Thermostat wars are happening because, well, there are those couples that one likes it warm, one likes it hot, and the thermostat gets touched, and the other person goes, hey, who touched the thermostat? I live by myself, and I generally don't turn the heat on only because when I get that utility bill, I don't want to audibly gasp and have to pay extra money just because I want my place to be warmer. I'll just put on a bunch more blankets. Be warm that way. I have a bunch of blankets lying around. I'll just put those on, be just fine. Yeah, I was reading this whole thing here about thermostat wars happening between couples. Most Americans, they know how to deal with cooler temperatures, but, there are those people. They want it warm. They want it like 87 in the house for some reason. My parents' across the street neighbor. Now, I understand. As you get older, you start getting cold a whole lot easier compared to how it used to be. My dad was the same way that I was when he was my age, or the way that I am when he was my age. He will never get cold back when he was in his late 20s, early 30s. And then for some reason, it just switched. And now he gets cold. But he's also like rail thin now. If you ever see my dad and see me, you go, what on earth happened? How did this guy have this guy? But me and my dad, we are definitely related. Same face, same hairstyle, all of that. But yeah, he gets cold very easily. My mom, on the other hand, she's like, please, it's a sauna in here. They fight all the time. It's one of the perks of living by yourself is that you just control the heat. You control everything in your place. You can walk around in your underpants. Nobody's going to complain about that if you live by yourself. And this right here is your Shot Clock Sports Update. The Cleveland Cavaliers, they have started this season surprisingly 15-0. They'll have a chance to extend the streak to 16 wins in a row when they visit the Boston Celtics tonight. It's the fourth time in NBA history a team on a winning streak of 15-plus games faces off against the defending NBA champion. It's also the first time since the Chicago Bulls faced the Houston Rockets in 1996. The Cavaliers are tied for the second best start with the 1993-94 Rockets and, get this, the 1948-1949 Washington Capitals, only behind the 2015-2016 Golden State Warriors. All three previous teams made the NBA Finals with the Rockets winning it all. The WNBA made the right move, giving an expansion team to the Bay Area in California. The Golden State Valkyries became the first WNBA team to surpass 15,000 season tickets sold for one season over the summer, and now they've announced that they've sold 20,000 season tickets for their home games at the Chase Center. The Valkyries will play their first game when the new season kicks off in May. That's pretty cool. I want to see what their logo looks like. I'll look that up once we're done here. Last year was the first Pop-Tarts Bowl featuring an edible mascot. Well, they're ramping things up for this year's Pop-Tarts Bowl by presenting 3 new flavored mascots. College football fans should be on the lookout for Frosted Hot Fudge Sundae, Frosted Wild Berry, and a third mystery flavor banging around out there. The game will be played on December 28th. The game's MVP will decide which flavor gets the honor of being consumed by the winning team. I myself used to have those Hot Fudge Sundae Pop-Tarts all the time back in like 5th grade. It's probably the reason why I'm, extra fat now. That does it for your Shot Clock Sports Update right here on K-Bear 101. Have you ever wanted to change the color of your eyes? You may have brown eyes. You're like, hey, I want to go blue or whatever. Well, now there's a new surgery that's growing in popularity. For a cool $12,000, you can change the color of your eyes. The procedure essentially involves just putting dye into your cornea to change your eye color, which doesn't sound safe, does it? Well, yeah. Naturally, doctors are warning the risks a warning of the risks involved, including infection, vision problems. The American Academy of Ophthalmology has issued a warning that this surgery carries serious risks for vision loss and other complications, including light sensitivity, infections. They say the safest way to change the appearance of eye color is with those prescription contact lenses. Don't be dumb with your body, okay? This is about as stupid. This is even worse, I would say, than the leg lengthening surgery that I've seen people get where they just break your legs and then they extend them, which is clearly not good for you either. You're going to have some problems when you're older, if not a few months after the surgery. You know, Victor called me weird for being that guy that prefers not to have turkey on Thanksgiving, and I'm not alone. Right here, looking at the survey of 2,000 people, found that almost half of them would serve ham way more than turkey. Turkey's the traditional route, but I mean, you don't really have to have either. You don't really need to go to your family's place. You can just eat as a family at your place, you know, and just say, hey, we went out of town to your extended family members, whoever you promised to, head on over to their place for Thanksgiving. Just say, you know what? I decided to skip town and then secretly have Thanksgiving in your house. You can eat whatever you want. You can make tacos, make burgers. I would just simply, now here's the thing. If I'm dealing with a traditional Thanksgiving meal, I tend to go for the biscuits, first of all, and I slice them down the middle. I'll then put turkey, stuffing, gravy, all on these little biscuits and then make like these Thanksgiving sliders. That's what I like to do. All the food, all at once, real fast, so I can go get more. You know what? This will be helpful to both you and me. Saw this in the radio prep and figured, why not talk about it? Just because Thanksgiving's coming up, or you need to clean out your refrigerator. You didn't celebrate National Clean Out Your Refrigerator Day a few days back when you were supposed to, but it's better late than never, right? When it comes to doing something like that. Experts from the UK Association, which revealed the best ways to organize food in your refrigerator. All right, let's dive into this here. Leftovers, cured meats on the top shelf, dairy in the middle, raw meat on the bottom. Fruits and veggies, they stay in those drawers there. Now, the experts also recommend placing milk on the dairy shelf and not on the door rack. Bread, tomato sauce, mustard can be left out of the refrigerator entirely. No matter how accurate your thermostat is, the temperature in your fridge will still vary between shelves, the association said. It's best to think of your thermostat temperature as an average for the fridge because, as a general rule, the higher the shelf, the higher the temperature will be. No heat rises. You can't have cooked meat touching raw meat at all. I've seen plenty of bar rescue, kitchen nightmares to know to never do that. K-Barrel 101, Idaho's only rock station. I should have asked Justin Pierce from 105 The Hawk about this. I know he lived in Alaska for a little while. Not this particular city, though. Formerly Barrow. Oh, I forgot how to say it. It's like Utqiagvik. My friend Hunter, he lived in Alaska for most of his life, and I was telling him about this news yesterday, that there was only 31 minutes and 25 seconds of daylight today for this Utqiagvik city in Alaska. The sun will set there. The sun has already set there and will not rise again until January 22nd of next year. Though the sun will not rise, it will not be pitch black, though, for those 64 days. They will experience twilight, but still not full sunlight. Wouldn't that suck? There was one person in the comments saying, it's not too bad. Everyone thinks it's much worse than what it really is. I feel like seasonal depression would hit hard for sure on that. I mean, you got to think about it. You're not seeing any sunlight. You're seeing twilight. You're seeing light dark mode. If, to put in Gen Z terms, light dark mode. And that's about it. It's night all the time. It's tough enough as it is. Waking up in the morning, having it still be dark, leaving work, and it's dark then too. Luckily, I sort of leave work right as the sun is setting now. Back when I used to be 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. here, I would leave with some sunlight, but then I would immediately just come home to darkness, and I would always just want to go to bed right away and realize it was only 7:15. I just uploaded the Dave Mustaine interview from October of last year. I can't believe I actually had the chance to chat with him. Even though it was over the phone and not on Zoom, I still had the chance to talk to the Dave Mustaine right before the Megadeth show with Biohazard at the Portneuf Health Trust Amphitheater in Pocatello last year. Can't believe that was already a year ago, more than a year ago. You can hear that full conversation on the Artist Interrogations podcast, wherever you get your podcasts, or you can also find it on the Peaches Pit Party page, again, wherever you get your podcasts. All of our shows are on demand. The Victor Wilt Show, Traffic School powered by The Advocates, Peaches Pit Party, and the Artist Interrogations podcast. Go check it out. Peaches Pit Party on KBAR 101, Idaho's only rock station. I saw this news a couple days ago. I meant to talk about it on the air. Victor even nominated his friend Steve. I've met Steve a couple times. I haven't seen him drum, but Primus is now currently taking submissions from all points in the universe, is what they say, for the position of Primus drummer / percussionist. If you haven't seen the full post on their Facebook page, I think we shared it on our page. Says here, we are currently taking submissions from all points in the universe for positions of Primus drummer / percussionist, seeking a well-mannered, affable individual with original sensibility and aesthetic, possessing a desire to open new doors in the creative world. You can tell Les Claypool wrote this thing. Flashy chops are wonderful, but groove, pocket, and the ability to listen, react, and contribute to the musical conversation is a must. Could you imagine auditioning for Primus? You get the gig, and now you have to deal with Les Claypool and learn from one of the greatest bassists to ever live. If you want to submit your resume, you can do so with a recent video performance to drumsearch@primusville.com. It wouldn't hurt, would it, to just send in a tape, see what happens. So many animals in the news, or animals breaking out in the news. A plane had to be grounded for 4 days at this airport in Portugal. Get this, 132 hamsters escaped from their cages in the cargo hold, ran amok through the plane. The TAP Air Portugal flight had just landed in Ponta Delgada from Lisbon, was transporting small animals destined for a pet shop. Well, at some point during the flight, the hamsters got loose, made their way into the cabin. The plane was held at the airport for 4 days. Maintenance crews worked to wrangle up all of the hamsters. How do you know you got all of them? They're so tiny, and they barely make any sounds too. Well, it says here they were able to capture all but 16 of them. They also had to carefully inspect the plane to make sure the hamsters didn't nibble through any wires. That would be such a pain. The plane was eventually flown back to Lisbon. It's unclear if the remaining rodents have been found. It's pretty crazy that this news was put out there. You think they would try their best to keep this thing private, just because you'll have some paranoid passengers and also paranoid crew members looking around trying to see. Maybe they'll start seeing hamsters that aren't really there, start hearing hamsters that aren't really there. This is why it's best to just avoid all the Thanksgiving drama. Have the Thanksgiving meal at your place. A woman shared in a Reddit post on the what I like to call the Am I the Jerk forum that she did not want to attend a friend's all-vegan Thanksgiving dinner. She added that everyone else in the group accommodated the vegan friend by providing the tofurkey, a side dish, a vegan dessert, but this friend won't allow any non-vegan dishes at her holiday meal. Her friend insists that the alternative dishes will taste just as good, but the poster does not think they will. It's definitely a choice, and you can't really implement your choice onto others, but I do get that it's your place. You're hosting Thanksgiving. Maybe you just invite the friends who are open to having vegan dishes. That's about it. You're going to get people that don't necessarily want to have a tofurkey. I wouldn't mind trying one of those. I don't care about vegan food being vegan. I wouldn't loudly yell at the table, I want the real turkey. Tofurkey, what side dishes were they talking about? It's just non-dairy, no eggs, no cheese. What's exactly vegans non-dairy? There's nothing from animals. That's what it is. Wouldn't be too bad. I've been to a few vegan places. One of the best vegan restaurants I ever went to was in New York called By Chloe, and they don't even have that around anymore, unfortunately. Well, there's also Mohawk Bend in Los Angeles. That place is really good. They got a spicy vegan pizza. One of the best pizzas I've had. And LA pizza is known to be awful just because they try making it hipster and artsy and all that. This pizza was not all that bad. I don't know. I feel like I would have showed up to this lady's place, ate some food, said hello to everybody, and then went to the next place. Something like that. So my 10-year high school reunion is about 11 days away. and it's at this bar in Long Beach. Clearly, I'm not going to go. I'm not going to book some last-minute trip and fly down there just to see a whole bunch of people they used to just, I don't know. I used to not really like most of the people I went to high school with. The first high school I went to. That's what this reunion is for. The high school I actually graduated from, Ocean View, there's no email or anything about a 10-year high school reunion for there. I mostly know people from the first high school I went to because I grew up with those guys. And I talk to the people that I want to talk to on a daily basis, or I catch up with them occasionally. The ones that are going to be at this event, I'm like, it's going to be all the popular kids. They're going to look the exact same. They're off doing crazy things. I don't really care for seeing those people. 10 years is not too much. It's when you get to the 20-year reunion, I feel like that's when you're like, whoa, what happened to this person? What are they doing? 10 years is like, okay, this is the first trial. 20 years, 30 years, that's when you go, okay, who's gotten divorced? And I've talked about this with my friends too. I'm like, I'm seeing a lot of our friends from back in high school, even people that I knew in middle school, getting married now, having kids and stuff. And I'm thinking, like, which one of these couples is going to be the first to get divorced? I really want to know that. Who's going to magically change their profile picture? You know how that's how the divorce goes, is when one of them changes their profile picture to them or to like the kids. The other one has some sort of thing that means a lot to them, but it's not necessarily them. And they secretly get rid of the married to on their Facebook profile. They'll probably put some subtle story or status update saying things like, I'm going through a lot right now. I'll be back with you shortly. Things like that. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine. It's a tough thing to go through, honestly. But I wonder who's going to be the first high school classmate of mine to get divorced. That's going to be I should put my prediction on a piece of paper and then see if it comes true. You know what's crazy is we talked about it on the noon hour of Madness and Mayhem powered by Jalisco's about how Jade wants us to use ChatGPT for radio content. And I figured, let me just ask this. And let me ask the AI. I do a segment called The Peach the Roan during the 4 p.m. hour. I ask the listeners a question that each one of them would, for the most part, have a different answer to. Could you think of any questions I could ask the audience? And it gave me like 10 of them. And I chose the one that I really wanted to use for today. Where is it at here? Where'd it go? Oh, if you could instantly master any skill just to show off, what would it be? I got 3 choices that immediately come to my mind. Metal vocals, just crazy metal vocals. Learn the guitar and just show that off. I'm going to be that guy that shows off my guitar playing. Or I master all the languages in the world, so I can go on vacation anywhere and truly blend in. If you could instantly master any skill just to show off, what would it be? Let me know right now at 208-535-1015. Hey, K-Bear, if you could immediately master any skill just to show off, what would it be?
Cooking.
Are you
making?
Go for it. Go for it.
I would say like making all sorts of like different dishes. Like I have a pretty good level of cooking skills, but being able to do all the like fancy stuff that you see on like the cooking channels and Food Network.
Essentially do what Gordon Ramsay does without all the yelling.
Absolutely. Maybe still a little bit of the fun language, but yeah, less
exactly.
anger.
I like that. To Peach the Roan, if you could immediately master any skill without having to go through the whole learning process just to show off, what would it be? We got another person here. K-Bear, how's it going?
Good, and you?
Doing fantastic. If you could immediately master any skill, what would it be?
Chainsaw ice sculpting.
Whoa. That's...
Right?
That's impressive. Right? I did not even think of that.
There you go. I was like, that's it. That would be it. And bam, just like that, you'd know it. You wouldn't even have to lose any limbs, like trying to learn. You just know it.
What about like also doing the same thing with the chainsaw with wood too? So that way in the summertime, you still got something to do.
Yes. All right. So chainsaw sculptor. There it is. Chainsaw sculptress, I guess. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you. All right. We got another person here. Hey, if you could immediately master any skill just to show off, what would it be?
The stock market.
Somebody else put that, and I was like, man, that's a good answer. Good answer. Thanks for listening to Peach's Pit Party, the podcast. If you enjoy the show, please share, subscribe, and rate the podcast. Peach's Pit Party is hosted by me, Peaches, and is a production of Riverbend Media Group. For more information or to contact the show, visit riverbendmediagroup.com. Until next time, Peach out.